What's up, everybody? In tonight's live stream, what we're going to be discussing is what your favorite lines are right now. I'm not worried necessarily about what was your top line of 2023 or what's been historically, whatever. Right now, today, what do you think is the best line for your collecting sensibilities? That was for the replay crew. And as far as maybe what feels like a heightened sense of energy, I started eating about 12 minutes ago. So I still have like half a sweet potato that needs to be finished that I put away because it was a really, really big sweet potato. So now we're off and running. Let's get to chatting. Thank you for showing up. What do we have here? Spaded one, Mick Dysentery. What's going on here? Some kind of pants party? There's always some kind of pants party. Hang on. What do we got? Actually, it's kind of funny. I have a friend who has a trivia team, and their trivia team name is Pants. And so they'll riff on that depending on the whole deal, depending on what's going on that night. Yeah. Whew. All right. I feel a little better. I feel like I'm settling in after really loading up on food really fast. I even had time to make my tea here, so I'm stoked about that. Let's back this up. You don't need my head being quite so large. I'm telling you, this was like a real fast. Usually I hit go live as soon as the clock says 7. Today I hit go live and it still said 7, but it was towards the tail end of the 00, and I hate being late. Anyway, I want to talk about real quick while we're waiting for everybody to show up what my top line is. This will come as a surprise to no one who's kept up with the channel. It is currently and has been for quite some time MAFEX. There we go. There's the camera. Hey, Dave, just follow the green dot. We have Batman. Da-na-na-na-na. This figure here specifically, this Batman changed my entire collecting trajectory. Before this, I had picked up a lot of Marvel Legends. I mean, I had a lot of Marvel Legends. And one day, I think it was before I got this, I looked at the shelf and I thought to myself, man, I have a lot of figures up there that are basically on 6 bodies with just different paint jobs. And then I ordered this guy, and that was the final nail in the coffin for selling Marvel Legends for me. I know there's a lot of Legends fans out there, and I don't fault you at all, but when it comes to photography, the way guys like this move, ooh, it's perfection. So there's my top line right now, currently, and for quite some time, my favorite line. He even comes from my favorite subline. MAFEX's, I'm going to start saying MAFEX, and here's why. It sounds way mightier than MAFEX. MAFEX, I feel like a kitten. MAFEX, I feel like a lion. Anyway, that's kind of what I think of with this line. If you say MAFEX, that's no kitten action figure, people. That's a lion action figure because he's Batman with a ball-jointed waist. Oh, you're right. Look at that. Oh, that's fancy. All right, now, enough of me rambling. Let's see what everybody else is rambling about. Pushing Dutch buttons. Ooh, that's a lot of rambling. Thanks, guys. All right. Yeah, here, dog. How goes the courting of MAFEX? You know what? I have not sent that in yet. I've been working on learning my video technique and learning different marketing techniques when it comes to all kinds of this stuff. So I haven't set that in. Right now, I'm working on getting email addresses for a bunch of different toy and comic shops across, right now it's Michigan, but eventually it'll at least be across the states and hopefully worldwide, just so I can make sure that all these people know there's that free resource on my Patreon page where they can download images that they can use for their marketing materials. So that's been the big focus. But yeah, that might be a to-do for next week, is try and figure out how exactly I can get a hold of MAFEX. So we shall see. But thank you for the reminder. I appreciate it. Mr. Matson, good evening. Taking my daughter to the urgent care for an x-ray. No big deal. Hopefully lost a sprained ankle. Lost a sprained ankle. Man, well, whatever it is, man, hope she's fine. Hope you guys are going to have a quick trip. There's not a whole lot that's all that fun about urgent cares and ERs and all that. So hope you're able to get back in a hurry. Hope she's good to go afterwards. Oh, whoop. I just ordered the Black Hush Batman last week. Got a good deal. Awesome, sir. Awesome. You're gonna, I mean, I don't know. I guess I can't sit here and say you're gonna love them. I love them. So if your tastes run similar to mine, you're gonna be good to go. Glad to hear it. All right. No, I have to. I have to. It sounds mightier. It just sounds, it sounds like the king of the jungle rather than kitten of the jungle. I don't know. We'll see. If they ever get a hold of me, they'll probably be like, you know what, man? You got to say MAFEX or you got to say MAFEX, or maybe you Americans don't know what you're talking about. How about just going with Medicom? That's what I'd like to happen, is for them to actually tell me how to pronounce it. Spaded one. My bro is a hardcore Marvel Legends Spider-Man collector, and his whole world shattered when I handed him an SH Figure Art Spider-Man for his birthday. I don't know whether to say that that was possibly the nicest thing you've ever done for him or the meanest thing you've ever done for him, because suddenly you know he's sitting back there and going, man, do I just get rid of all these? Because that's basically what happened with me. But man, yeah, I bet he loves it. Which one did you get him? Out of curiosity, was it the final swing? Because I saw that and I was like, ooh, that's pretty sweet. Me and pushing buttons is hard. Mr. Online. Hello all. Love that Batman. Still despise the Snuggie cape. Love the photo pic. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. It was a fun one to snap. I thought, okay, who are the ones that I have that are the most recognizable across basically everybody? Will everybody know who these are? And I think almost everybody knows Spidey, Boba, Soups, Bats, and Wolverine. So I think I'm good there. At least that probably accomplished the mission, except the word live stream totally covered it all up. But hey, you know, it happens. And I know what you mean about the Snuggie cape. The one thing they could have done there, I think, to make the cape a little better was to put a wire right down the middle of the cape. I think that would have been the perfect, kind of thing. Perfect Batman, perhaps. Maybe they'll do that with Nightfall. I don't know yet. Liquid Below Zero, LBZ. Yo, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by. All right, what do we have? Mom tells me, she's like, you always say appreciate it. And I'm going, okay. So I almost said appreciate it to you. I do appreciate it, but I have to come up with different ways of saying that. We'll work on that. It's the whole workshop thing. Mr. Madsen, the company called, let's see, he says it's supposed to be MAFEX. They are Japanese. MAFEX just sounds like a Rube saying it. I mean, I totally agree. But have you ever, I've never heard the company actually reference it. So that's what I need. Send me some audio or point me to audio. Once I hear that, I will be like, all right, I will settle on MAFEX. And then I'll give all the characters, like all the figures, like a lion's mane, so they get the idea that, guys, just change the way it sounds just a little bit, please. I don't know. That probably wouldn't work, but it would be entertaining for me. The time to make those lion's manes, that would be rough. Spaded one. I got him the Amazing Spider-Man one, the one with no Garfield head. Randomly found it in a case at GameStop. Oh, and I've heard that all those SHF Spideys from No Way Home were really good figures. So yeah, you either destroyed him or you made him a believer. He either fell into darkness or he saw the light. I'm not sure which. You'll have to let us know, because that would be, I mean, shattered his world. It kind of sounds like maybe he seeped into darkness, but who knows? All right. Mr. Madsen, the Blue Hush Batman changed my collecting forever also. Don't know why it took me so long to get the black one. Well, at least you know what you're getting, so you're pretty, you know what's up now then. The only real difference between the two, obviously aside from the colors, is the black one has the gargoyle base and the blue one has the Bruce Wayne head. So either way, I don't think you can really go wrong. I've shot some photos with the Bruce Wayne head on, and I enjoy having that option, but I really mostly shoot with the bat ears going on. So I think the gargoyle display base might be a decent trade, although I'd probably be annoyed if I didn't have the Bruce Wayne head. In fact, I still want the 075 MAFEX Spider-Man, because it has the Peter Parker head. So we'll see what happens there. Whew, I feel like I'm settling down. That was fast eating, guys. Chicken and sweet potatoes. That's rough. LBZ, I call it MAFEX because MAFEX sounds like saying, hey, hey, ma. hey, ma. I don't know. Yeah, I get that. It just, to me, it doesn't sound like, it sounds like you're really underselling how great the figures are by calling it MAFEX. MAFEX sounds like, yeah, these are awesome and we know it, but we're not going to be too cocky about it. And that's pretty much where I think they should be. I don't know. Here I am going with making things up, trying to understand what my own thought process is, but I think that's pretty close. Now, pushing the buttons. Seeing what we got. Robert, since we bring up annoying MAFEX things, can we talk how annoying it is? We have 3 different Spider-Man, Comic Shade Spidey, Blue Silver Pants Spidey, and Classic Spidey. Grr. Blue Silver Pants Spidey. Which one's that? Was that? No, that wasn't Webman. I'm trying to figure out which one Blue Silver Pants Spidey is. Yes, I am annoyed. Like, I would have been totally cool. Like, I've got the comics colors one because I wasn't smart enough to get 075. And I got the comic colors one thinking, man, I can't believe they're not including the Peter Parker head. But yeah, I am a little annoyed that it didn't come with that. But I'm trying to figure out Blue Silver Pants Spidey. Was Blue Silver Pants what you're thinking for 075? Because I know that there was a little bit of shininess going on there, as there was for a lot of Marvel figures at the time. I think Cyclops and Wolverine both have that going on. Let's see. Those new Marvel Legends Spider-Man have great head sculpts. They do have great head sculpts. That is one thing that I have to give the Legends team, is it almost looks like at this point the head sculpts would look phenomenal on pretty much any figure. And the bodies themselves, because of that waist cut, it's like the head sculpts themselves are just way better than what the heads are being popped onto. So I'd like to see, like, that's the thing that Legends could do to kind of bring me back a little bit, is the ball peg waist. That would be the biggest move that they could make if they wanted me to start being like, hey, let's talk about Marvel Legends a whole lot more. But I still pay attention to them because I want them to get really good. The thing is, with the whole Disney licensing, with what Hasbro expects their profit margin to be, with cost of goods, everything else, I just don't know. I think Legends and Star Wars Black Series are just stuck in this perpetual limbo unless somebody at Hasbro learns how to negotiate, or somebody at Disney learns how to once again make content that everybody digs. Like, it used to be pretty much everybody dug Star Wars and Marvel, and now the fan bases for the both of those are kind of like, eh. Like, I really like Marvel for the most part, but when I think about it, the best movie since Endgame to me has been No Way Home, and the rest are kind of forgettable. And most of the Disney Plus stuff, fairly forgettable, including What If that I'm watching right now. The Star Wars stuff, for me personally, fairly forgettable. I did enjoy Ahsoka, I have to say. And I enjoyed season 7 of Clone Wars. Basically, if Filoni's doing it, I enjoy it, but Filoni is basing all his stuff on stuff that's previously established that most people that are just into, like, the movies, the casual viewing, have no idea about. So it gets kind of tricky. I don't know. Anyway, point being that Marvel and Star Wars need to step up their game to get more people into the fold. That way, maybe Hasbro can step up their game and give us much better figures when it comes to Black Series and Marvel Legends. But I don't know. I'm thinking Marvel or Hasbro needs to start negotiating with the Disney people and say, look, man, you guys, we need to be able to make the characters we want to make if we're going to pay this much money, because right now we're losing money making these characters that a lot of people don't like. Anyway, let's see. I got Blue Silver Pants Spider, let's see, one classic. I'll have to see. Was that was the first one, I think. Was the Spider-Man, like the blue silver pants, whatever. I don't know. I'm speaking again, and it gets weird when I do that. Dog, I cannot wait for the Nightfall line. Would love for them to dive deep with the villains. Man, you know what I love about what they're doing with the Batman stuff when it comes to MAFEX is I've got right now the Joker, I've got Harley Quinn, I've got Catwoman, Riddler will be here when I finally pre-order him. I've got Poison Ivy already pre-ordered, paid, all that. So hopefully she gets sent sometime soon. And now they're building, and then we see Scarecrow, and now we see Bane from Nightfall. Like between Hush and Nightfall, we might cover pretty much all of Batman's rogues gallery. Plus, we've got Catwoman, who's a little 50-50. We've got Nightwing. We've got Huntress. We need Robin. And then we maybe could, with Nightfall, man, it's been a while since I read Nightfall. We do have Azrael from Nightfall going on. Man, yeah. I mean, we could really cover just about the entire Batman rogues gallery, which would be sweet. And we've already got a bunch of the Bat family done, which is also sweet. I mean, I could have a complete Batman collection. Every figure, every character I've ever wanted from Batman, courtesy of MAFEX, if they'd ever make like an Alfred. I don't know that they'll make an Alfred. I might need to find an Alfred. I'm saying Alfred an awful lot. And I'm clearing my throat because everybody wants to hear that. Mr. Online, the problem. Or, sorry, they probably re-released Blue Hush Bats, so be ready. Anybody at all who missed out on the Blue Hush Bats, I think especially if you're watching this and you're into figure photography and you dig Batman, I think you want to dip your toes into MAFEX a little bit with whatever your favorite character is out there, because right now they're starting to really dive deep. We've got a lot coming from Star Wars. It's the Disney Plus era, but I do think a lot of those characters are pretty cool. They've got a lot that's Marvel right now. They've got tons of DC. They're really diving into that pop culture space. They've been loading up on Terminator and RoboCop. They even did an Alien, which I haven't seen great reviews on that, so that might be one that I would have skipped. But still, they're diving in. I think if you're a big fan of photography, you owe it to yourself to just try one MAFEX figure just to see what you think. Pushing to buttons. Mr. Online, let's see, Blue Silver Pants Spider-Man was second release version, had a metallic, okay. So was it then it was the recolor, right? Or like, they reissued that twice so far, right? So you had the first one, then you had the the first reissue, which I think is the one you're talking about. And then they had the third reissue where they actually packaged the heads differently or something like that. I'm trying to remember. I should, for as much of a MAFEX fan as I am, I probably should know those subtleties. Because you guys wanted to hear that again. I love MAFEX Venom, but really wish he was a little larger and had a tongue. I wish I had him. I need to go back. The ones that I missed that I still need to get are Venom, Carnage, Tiger Stripe Wolverine, and 075 Spider-Man. So I could form my own opinion on Venom. He does look like he's a little small, but way back when he wasn't a big guy and he didn't have the gnarly tongue. But I get what you're saying. It's just that what MAFEX tends to do is they stick with what the character's appearance is in the arc that they were setting up. And for there, I don't know, with Cassidy though, with Carnage, you would think it would be kind of I don't know. He was doing the tongue thing when Carnage showed up, wasn't he? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm all lost. Yeah, that happens. But yeah, he would be, I do think from what I saw, he should probably be a little bigger, but who really knows things? Filoni made Thrawn so dumb. The smartest man in the Star Wars universe became an idiot under Filoni. Not losing anything Disney has done since, or wait, what's that? I'm sorry. Not losing anything Disney is, not loving, I'm going to assume, anything Disney has done since Rogue One and Andor. Okay, I have a hot take on Andor. You guys ready? Hold on. This is so hot. I got to take a swig. Andor, for me, was a slog to get through. Every episode was so depressing. And I've heard people say, yeah, but look at the time frame it was in. Return of the Jedi, arguably, should have had the most depressing plots and story and everything if you look at it that way, because they had everything to lose but everything to gain. Like every aspect of that movie was a gamble. Every part of that plan had to come together perfectly or the rebellion was just done. So yeah, Andor to me, like people will say it didn't feel like Star Wars because there were no lightsabers. That wasn't me. It didn't feel like Star Wars because it wasn't any fun. It's kind of like Dial of Destiny for Indiana Jones. That wasn't Indiana Jones. That guy, I don't know who that was, but he wasn't any fun. It was just the whole way that they did that movie. It just wasn't fun, straight up. And that's how I felt about Andor. But, you know, Rogue One I did love. I thought Rogue One was really good. But yeah, I think Ahsoka was good. I know what you're saying about Thrawn, though. Hopefully he gets a lot smarter if they ever actually end up making that Disney movie that they're supposed to make in the Mandoverse. Oh man. Okay, what do we have? Let's see if I've recovered. Don't like the Disney Star Wars, but I did enjoy Mandalorian 1 and 2, Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan. See, that's awesome because we've all got different takes on that. I loved Mando 1 and 2, like season 1 and 2. I thought those were great. I think I was like a lot of people where the Book of Boba Fett, I just liked the Mando episodes. Although, again, I love Boba Fett in the Mandalorian series. I thought he was a great character there. The Book of Boba Fett, I don't know. I don't know that somebody changes that drastically. I can see that change happening over time where he's a little less mercenary style, but I don't think that was enough time for that to happen. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people really dug that. Obi-Wan, I felt it was unnecessary. Every time that people will say, well, it doesn't make sense that Darth Vader in A New Hope said, when last we met, you were my teacher, or whatever it was. You know, I can't remember the line exactly. I'm a terrible nerd. But to me, that just meant the last time they got together and were hanging out on Mustafar, where Anakin had the low ground. That kind of thing. I thought, yeah, that covers it. We're good with that. So I felt like the Obi-Wan series was unnecessary in its entirety, and I didn't think it was all that well done. On the other hand, others liked it, and that's totally good. I'm good with that. I'm not one of those elitists that's just like, they should only make stuff that I like. But they should try and make stuff that the majority of people like, and that's where I think they're fumbling a lot. Jericho Savage, I just read Batman Failsafe. What a great but tragic story. Is Failsafe fairly new? I've actually never heard of that one. Let us know. Let us know. I need to know these things because I need to. That's something I genuinely want to do, is get back into comics a little bit. I feel like I'm missing out on an aspect of my nerddom that I loved growing up. Still no MAFEX Gordon, Alfred, and Two-Face. I think they have to do a Two-Face because he's just such an interesting design. I would think they'd do that. Gordon? Ah, man, Gordon and Alfred. If they nailed Gordon and Alfred, I'd be stoked. Oh, we need a Batgirl too. So we need Robin, and how many different incarnations of Robin? So we need a Dick Grayson Robin, we need a Jason Todd, we need a Tim Drake, we need a Damian Wayne. And do we want like Batman, what was it, Rebirth or New 52 or whatever, just current? Do we want, I mean, we're going to need another Batman. They're going to keep milking Batman. And I almost feel like the way that Damian Wayne at least has been portrayed to my knowledge, they should probably start milking him a little bit too. He's kind of a tough little kid. Although I know a lot of people were annoyed by him when he first showed up. Oh my, guys, you're really chatting. I might, oh no, I might have to do things. Mr. Madsen, Blue and Black Hush Batman have been re-released 3 times. Superman also, doubt they will do him again anytime soon. That could be true if there's still money on the table. The one thing I like to do is look at Amazon and eBay and see what they're going for. And if they're going for a lot of money, I think that's MAFEX just looking and saying, oh, you know what? We can do this again. And something else that I've been noticing is a lot of companies are starting to re-release some of their most popular stuff, which I think is a fantastic idea because a lot of people missed out on the most popular stuff, the best stuff that those companies have made. And now with the re-releases, it works because it pleases fans and the company isn't spending any more money on tooling. It's already out there. They're just spending some money on production and paint and all that. So I think re-releases are a win-win. I really think that's a great idea. Mr. Savage, Spidey with metallic blue with a second release. Okay, that's what I thought. That's where I was, my brain was trying to get there. Clearly, it doesn't always happen for me. Yeah, Tiger Stripe Wolverine is a must. Funny they haven't done a re-release. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that. And I would like them, if they do a re-release, I would like them to change those Tiger Stripes to black. But if they don't, as bad as I am at customizing, that's something that, well, frankly, a Sharpie could take care of. All I need to do is mask them off. Let's see, Dial of Dysentery. I think that's a very good explanation for the Dial of Destiny. I think that was just, it was bad. Like, I wasn't somebody who was against Disney having any of this stuff. I know a lot of people jump on Disney and everything. I was like, no, I'm good. I paid money to see that crap in a theater, and I felt it was terrible. Like, I generally don't go to the movie and feel like I wasted money. Dial of Destiny, I felt like I wasted money. I thought it was an abysmal send-off to Indiana Jones. It was awful. Let's see, Spaded One. What? Andor was the best Star Wars show. I'm stoked for season 2. See, that's what I'm saying. This is why I knew it was a hot take. It's why I have to drink another swig of tea. Is I have to carefully prepare my response to such a comment. Glad you liked it. No, I mean, it wasn't bad, and it was incredibly well acted. It was just the way it was done every episode. I was just like, oh man, we need a little bit of levity here. I think the only levity that was in Andor at all was the 2 aliens right after they had all escaped the prison. When they were, I think they were caught in a net. I'm trying to remember that whole scene. Also, I'm just going to play and adjust the laptop so that the screen looks right throughout the entire thing. That was my problem with that, is I felt like it lacked the fun that makes Star Wars Star Wars. Same with Indiana Jones. LBZ, the only part of Disney Star Wars I liked was Luke destroying the Dark Troopers to get to Grogu. Everything else Disney Star Wars is garbage or meh. Now see, I did like Mando season 1 and 2, so I can't sit there and say no. But here's a concern I had, is when Luke finished out Mando season 2, right away, my first thought truly was, how do they top this? They can't possibly top this. Like, they can't top this. How do they progress the Mandalorian story? And I don't know. I think that kind of stuck. It also probably hurts Favreau, regardless of what anybody thinks of Gina Carano. When Disney decided she had to go, the real problem there was Favreau probably was already pretty deep in telling the story he wanted to tell in that world. And when Disney's like, nah, you're out, suddenly things had to be really reworked quickly. And that whole idea, I think it was Rangers of the New Republic, that had to be scrapped. So I think the story suffered a lot from that. That's total speculation. But the way that it seems like Hollywood tends to work, I would think that Favreau would have had quite a bit done already moving forward into that universe, and letting Carano go just totally blew it up. And since then, things have been a little funky over there. But who knows? Let's see. Ahsoka was ridiculously overrated. Such an overrated character. See, I think Ahsoka's pretty cool. I do. I think that they built her up properly. That's the thing, is a lot of times characters will get introduced and they won't be built up properly, and then they'll just be awesome. Ahsoka, I feel like, was built up properly between Clone Wars and Rebels and all that stuff. And I even found things mostly believable for her character when it came to getting to Ahsoka itself. The one thing that I didn't see is there was not quite as much fire in her as there was in earlier series. And you could argue that the writer would say, yeah, but that's because she matured and all that. And to an extent, I agree, but I still would have liked to see a little more fire in Ahsoka. I thought there were parts of that show that were great, but, there were parts that weren't awesome. I'm trying to think right now. Sabine was pretty good. I thought the person they brought in to be Ezra was phenomenal. Like, the second he showed up, I'm like, oh yeah, that guy, that's perfect casting. So who knows? I mean, I don't know that I'd say it was overrated simply because there weren't a lot of people that watched it. So I think they're gonna try and get a little crazy with the ship over there with Star Wars, trying to see what they can do to fix it. Kind of like with Marvel right now. Mando should have been Boba, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Just bugs me. Boba is a side character, not right. I agree. On the other hand, once they tried to make Boba the main character, they kind of blew it. I got to a point a little while ago with Disney where I'm like, okay, you know what? Just leave our legacy characters alone, make up your own stuff, and build from there. So they haven't listened so much. I wish they would. I need to clearly just get on the phone and give Kathleen a call, like she'd listen to me. LBZ, Ahsoka was garbage except for that short drop in with Anakin. Obi-Wan was so boring, but last fight was great though. I did enjoy just the visual aspect and everything that went down with that last fight. And I guess I didn't see Ahsoka as being too bad, but I think I'm somebody that likes character development. Like, I didn't think any of the Disney Plus series were really great. I wanted to really like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right? But in the 5th episode, Bucky and Sam are basically working on a boat. And I thought that was the best episode of the whole series because it was really pushing character. And I feel like Ahsoka was trying to push character. And that's the one thing with Filoni is everything is a really slow burn. The problem with Filoni in that aspect is that for a slow burn to work, I think he needs a much longer season. So maybe Ahsoka season 2, they should consider giving a lot more episodes in there if he's going to continue the slow burn. Or usually after the slow burn's over, he really steps it up. So maybe life will get a little better there. Oh man, I bring up Star Wars and whew, let's see. Ooh, it was a license. They don't want to pay Lucas for any character he created. That's why I really. Oh yeah. What was that? What was that? That was about Lucas, wasn't it? Like they didn't want to use a lot of Lucas's characters, I believe. But I thought he would have sold the whole thing. He sold the whole thing up. See, I thought that was why they decided to go with. Sorry, agreed. Aw, Jericho, why you guys gotta be like disagreeing with me? My opinion is the ultimate opinion. But yeah, anyway, I thought that when it came to Thrawn and all those characters, when it came to like Disney Plus stuff moving forward, the reason they didn't want to use a lot of the characters, I thought had more to do with the expanded universe. But I could be wrong because I figured let's make this stuff so it's not canon. So then that way we don't have to pay these people their rights or something. I can't remember exactly what was going on with that. Seems like an ongoing thing with me here. I hear half the story and don't pay enough attention. See, don't care for Ahsoka, but it was kind of cool seeing her as a teen in live action with clone troopers. I did like that. I really want to see Rex show up in some way, live action wise, beyond that. Like I want him to have a story element. I don't want him to just show up and be and just be in the background. Miss Consmith, thank you for showing up. Ahsoka is love, life, and badassery. I'm glad she has the spotlight more these days. I agree. I think, like I said, I think that she was built up very well. I'm hoping that Filoni in season 2 pushes the gas a little bit, that he doesn't go quite so slow burn. I think that would take care of a lot of the complaints that people have had about the series. Pushing buttons. Mr. Online. I agree with Liquid. Seeing Luke take out the Dark Troopers was awesome. It was ridiculously cool. And that whole thing, I don't know how you guys were with the scene. I would not allow myself to think it was Luke Skywalker until it was undeniable. So like when the X-Wing showed up, my first instinct is, oh, it's Luke. And then I'm like, no, they wouldn't do that. That's too easy. They wouldn't do that. And then he shows up and you can see him in the monitor throwing down with Dark Troopers, wearing the black cloak. I'm like, nah, this can't possibly be Luke. Once we saw him with the lightsaber ignited and the glove on his hand, I'm like, holy crap, they gave us Luke. And I was stoked. It was insane. I was almost that person that was recording the videos, just showing them bawling because, oh my God, Luke Skywalker's back. But yeah, that was incredible. It was an incredible moment in Star Wars history given to us by Jon Favreau. Mr. Mattson, Filoni directs the opposite of Lucas, where Lucas says, see if we got more. And I think that might be why I like Filoni a little bit, is because the slow burn. Lucas said faster, more intense. Filoni said slower, less intense. I think that's why I kind of like Filoni's style, is because when you do things a little slower, you do get more character development. And then it makes the stakes feel a lot bigger when it comes to like the big, whatever battles are going on, and if somebody dies and all that stuff. Lucas, on the other hand, he was able to condense it in a really short time frame, at least with the original trilogy. I didn't care so much for the prequels, but that's probably more blasphemy. Actually, Clone Wars made it so the prequels were easier for me to get through. And that was Lucas and Filoni. Maybe we need them both doing the things. LBZ, yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier could have been better, but that Cap Falcon speech was a cringe moment that didn't make sense to me at all. I totally agree. That one hurt a little bit. I'm like, oh, Sam, come on, you're an awesome character. What are you doing? Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough one. All right. See, I kind of like the Boba Fennec team. Reminds me of Django Zam Wessel past. Yeah. I like Fennec. I think Fennec's really cool. But again, that's kind of a character that Disney introduced and made their own instead of trying to play with the legacy characters. But yeah, I think she's awesome. And hopefully they make Boba so he's a little more mercenary style like he used to be. It would be nice if he were that and Fennec were that. Just one of them leads more and the other just carries out whatever. In my heart, I'd give anything to see Kyle Katarn. I love that character. Used to play those games so much. Such a great character. I miss the character. Now, I don't know my Kyle Katarn. I did not get into Star Wars games except Shadows of the Empire. So if they went nuts with something like a Dash Rendar, oh, there we go. Prince. Let's see, Xizor. I always said Shizor. I don't know how other people pronounce it. I never heard it pronounced, but yeah, Dash Rendar. Yeah, Rendar, give me the Outrider. That'd be a blast. Ooh. See, only thing I want needs resolving is a Boba Fett Luke seeing each other. If I was Boba, I would want payback. Man, Boba and Luke would just be an interesting scene. It would be like, they almost would just have to look at each other and acknowledge that it happened, because that would be, I think Boba would get destroyed, at least the Boba that we have today. And yeah, I don't know. I think that would be a hilarious scene to see. I just don't know how it would play out. All right, let's go one more here and then we'll get back to chatting. See, Clone Wars definitely made the prequels better, but the novel Revenge of the Sith was awesome, better than the movie. I have not checked out the novel. I might need to do that. But just like anything else, the book oftentimes is better than the novel. Now, let's chat here a little bit more. I want to talk more figures a little bit. I could nerd out about Star Wars all day, but another company that I'm really stoked about right now, I think everybody knows if they saw my top 10 video, is Jada Toys. And I heard some of June's interview with Beebs today, and it sounds like they're going to do more of these guys. Maybe not necessarily, here, let's cover my face. Maybe not necessarily Chester Cheetah, but they are going to do a lot more food mascots. It sounds like, from what June was saying, they're going to do 1 or 2 a year, and I am all in for it. I think these, like, I never wanted these. I was never in the background saying, man, I really wish somebody would do cereal mascot or snack mascot characters. And this thing's ridiculously cool. Like, everybody needs a Chester Cheetah. I might take this thing to a networking meeting I attend so I can show people how to film a quick short. I don't know. This is just a fun figure. Obviously, like I said, if you saw my top 10, I won't tell you where this guy came in, but he was not number 10. I'm massively impressed with what Jada's doing. I would honestly, Jada right now is like MAFEX. I would buy every single one if I could. And I might with Jada because 20 to 30 bucks, that's a little easier to swallow than like 90 to 100 with shipping. So we shall see. But yeah, I'm super stoked about what Jada's doing as a company right now. Now, what have we here? Mr. Online. Boba took out, let's see, a biker game as revenge for killing the Sand People tribe, then finds out they didn't, they didn't. Oops, my bad. Yep. Well, you know, Boba clearly lost a few brain cells while trapped in the belly of the Sarlacc. And he turned a paler shade of green, which was weird. But yeah, that would be, you'd have a little bit of a guilt if you weren't already a crazy mercenary. It probably didn't even register on his brain that that was a bad thing to do. You think he'd get payback after what Luke and Han did to him. You would think he'd want payback. I don't know that he could get payback. Like Luke took out Dark Troopers, man. And Mando could hold his own against Boba. And Luke slaughtered an entire crew of Dark Troopers. So I think Luke would have a pretty easy time handling Boba. So that's why that scene would be really tricky to write. Because you'd want, I mean, everybody knows Luke would probably win. But, you know, I don't know. That's why I don't know that we'd see that scene. I'm not sure that anybody would want to write it, to be honest. The way you pronounced Shizor was correct. Yes, I'll take that. I'll take that. Even if I'm a little off on MAFEX. MAFEX. Medicom. That's probably what I should be saying. Let's see, my all-time favorite scene with Dash was when he took out IG-88. I don't remember the scene. Was that in the video game, The Shadows of the Empire? Because I know he's been in other things too. Let's see. Also, Bib, what have you been eating? Bib, what, me? Nothing. Sweet potato. Sweet potato. Let's see. Dog, Boba aged like 30 years in one scene. I know. Luckily, we don't really know so much just because he had the helmet going on with the other movies. So it was able to hide a little bit. LBZ, can you imagine doing a photo shoot of MTV-style celebrity deathmatch between Chester Cheetah versus Tony the Tiger? That would be awesome. June, we need cereal mascots, and we need it to be Tony the Tiger. That would be sweet. I'd be stoked about that. Or like just a ridiculous one, like Chester versus the Snap, Crackle, and Pop. But yeah, Tony the Tiger and Chester Cheetah, that would be pretty good. Because you can see that feels like a Foghorn Leghorn versus a Bugs Bunny. And Bugs Bunny is always going to win that, meaning Chester's got this. But Tony, he'd pretend to put up kind of quite a fight. I don't know. But that'd be fun. How about you guys? What are you thinking right now? What are some of your favorite lines out there? I know right now probably Classified has a good spot. People are probably stoked about that. People are stoked about Mezco, I think, from what I've seen online. There's people that are less stoked. I haven't seen too much praise when it comes to Super 7, like as far as top 10s go. But, I mean, there's some Super 7 stuff that I see and I think is pretty cool. Action Force. People are much more stoked about Action Force than I thought they'd be. And that, like I've talked about, that's one of those lines. Hang on, I have Action Force representation hanging on next to Chester. Yep. We has us Eclipse. She's rad. She's a fave. For sure. But yeah, that's one of those lines that the second I start buying some stuff, I'm going to be screwed. Like, I'm going to pick up some of this and I'm going to be spending all the money. So I kind of have to wait to load up. Although I also need to get the packs for her, the pack for Kill Switch, and the pack for the Spec Ops Trooper, just so they're complete. It's like Bobby Bella is creating totally complete figures. It's just you got to buy a second pack to get it there, which I'm not against. I think that's pretty cool because really this is a complete figure with everything she came with. It's like those add-ons are just going to make her insanely good. This is basically a MAFEX figure. The only exception really being the toe hinge. There is none. But aside from that, we're okay. There's no butterfly joints, but her arms at the shoulders work really well too. So I don't know, man. I'm stoked about Action Force. I think it's a really good line. They give me what I wish Classified would do, and that's absolutely everything. Like, we get all the hands, we get all the heads. If Classified starts doing that, I'm going to be getting them a lot more than I do too. And I've seen that they're working on the hands, but we'll see. We'll see. I'd like to see it. Motion to buttons. LBZ, Snail Shell, Notice Studios, and Memory Toys are exciting lines. All your Snail Shell shots that I keep seeing, I'm like, oh, I need those. I need those figures. Why don't I have those figures? So we shall see what this year brings for Toypixx. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good about it because I'm trying to make it so Toypixx buys all the stuff. But for that to happen, I got to continually get better at the whole marketing of the Toypixx. So we shall see. Notice Studios. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I know I've seen the figures, and I know that I've been blown away by the figures. I'm just trying to remember what all they are. Who did the? I think if any of you saw Robo's, like Robo and Beebs talking about their top 5 figures of 2023, Robo showed off a Heath Ledger Joker that looked incredible. Was that Felix Toys? I'm trying to figure it out. I know that it's a movie figure, and I'm not really a movie figure guy. But the way they did the cloth goods on that thing, that looks like they kind of figured out the formula for making cloth goods look perfect. I mean, it was ridiculous. So, yeah, I don't know about that one. Memory Toys is... I was going to look for my phone real quick to just call up. You know what? Here's what we'll do. I am going to open another tab or a new window. We're going to find some Memory Toys. Because I need to see what everybody else is a big fan of. Aha. Okay, okay. Now I'll pretend I've been doing this my whole life, and we'll share the screen. As I fire off dead air, here we go. Adjust this a bit. And now I gotta go grab that window. There we go. See, I'm trying to do all this on one monitor instead of 2. That makes it trickier for me. Aha, that's okay. Let's go here. Let's hang out. Let's hang out with the bears. Oops. Of course it was an eBay link. Still. 188? I'm guessing these didn't sell for that. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet bear. I forgot that Memory Toys was the company that made this thing. Are they the ones, is this bear the one that they also, like, they were going to pack a panda or something, like one every 100 or something like that? Oh, wow, that panda looks sweet. Okay, all right. See if I can blow this up a bit. There we go. Ooh, oh, that's a fun shot. Somebody got to play with their blur filter a little bit. Man, oh man. So that slash effect is there. Oh, looks like we got a little bit of a blood effect going on too. Oh, this is sweet. Yeah, it's been a while since I saw the bears going on. Wonder, do I have a better... Wait a second. Wait a second. What do we have here? What's this thing? Of course. Why are they all... You know what? I'm probably just clicking the shopping area, aren't I? All right. Blow up, you fiend. I haven't even seen this. This thing's ridiculous. Oh, something else. I've been thinking, oh, I missed the red dude. Oh, I should have gotten him. He's awesome. Berserker Broken Claw. Ooh. Yeah, those are pretty sweet. Can't fault those. Can't fault that choice, sir. Much chatting. Let's see, have you seen the Star Wars spoofs by YouTuber Charlie Hopkins? He's hilarious. The Star Wars ghost reviewing all the Star Wars movies. I have not. That's something, Charlie Hopkins, is that the name of his channel? Or, I mean, I guess if I just typed in Star Wars spoofs, I'd probably be okay. Mr. Manson, I got that Felix Heath Ledger Joker. He arrives this weekend. Okay, so it was Felix. I wasn't sure. I wanted to be 100%. I think Robo was a little lost on what it was too. But yeah, he looks phenomenal. Like, I've always thought that cloth goods still haven't looked quite right. They've gotten much better. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's good. That was Felix Toys. Got that one. Nice. Now, what do you think of him, LBZ? You a big fan? Because I thought, I mean, he just watching that, I thought, wow, this is nice. Memory Toys did that War Bear and the World of Warcraft figures. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I remember the War Bear. Like, once I saw that, I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Well, orcs, really. Huh. Orcs. Wait, oh, like the big green orc dudes? Because those are pretty awesome, too. See, the Panda Brothers look amazing. Yeah, man. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I would get lost in, and it's also why I have rules. Because I would be absolutely loading up on all this craziness. The Mythic Legions bear looks awesome. The pre-order closes soon. Yeah, that one is sweet. The one that everybody rides, like that thing, and the way they set it up in the snow environment, and everybody was instantly thinking cocaine bear. Oh, yeah, that thing's awesome. Not just for the cocaine bear references, but because it just looks sweet. Eric, hello, sir. Thanks for showing up, man. Whew. So what are some toy lines that you're into, Sarah? How about everybody else? What are some toy lines that you're thinking are the best out there? Mr. Online, I'm curious, do you collect any play sets? Well, you know, I don't collect play sets, and I don't know that I have any, actually, now that I said that. I'm going to end up getting the Musk whenever that's released from Ramen Toys. But as far as playset, not really. I mean, I can see me, depending on what goes on with the Turtles of Grayskull and all that, I could see maybe needing a Castle Grayskull or a Snake Mountain or something somewhere down the line, but we'll see. Make MAFEX Thor fight this bear dog. Okay, wow, holy crap. Okay, I just read that totally mixed up. From dog, make MAFEX Thor fight this bear. Still kind of made it messed up there, but yeah, that would be a good fight. Because he does have kind of that look a little bit. And you can't really have Thor fighting too many people in his own line because he's not scaled properly. Although, that's where the trick of camera, of photography comes in. I get to play with that. Dog, what? Why have I? Oh no, now I'm pushing things twice. I'm losing my mind. LBZ, yeah, Big Devil is dope. I'm assuming you have him, but yeah, when I missed that, I was like, oh no! And I could have gotten him at the time. I just somehow just blanked on it. Mr. Madsen, that Felix Toys Joker is the 1 point. Let's see, Robo and Bobby Ballot agree. You know what? From what I've seen from both of them, I mean, who doesn't think Robo is a lot of fun? And I really like the information that Bobby provides on 3POA. Sometimes I'm just I'm always in a mood to watch what Robo's talking about just because he seems to be having fun with it. And sometimes, like watching 3POA, sometimes the guys seem a little angry about stuff. And I'm like, all right, some nights I can handle this. And some nights I'm like, oh, I just don't want to deal with this right now. I don't need the anger. But overall, I think everybody's just being as honest as they can with what they think's going on. And I can't fault anybody for that. See, LBZ Vanguard apparently is up for pre-order next week. Oh, man. Why you got to say that? I just got the hiss. All right. Time for Toypixx to just start, like $1,000 a day. Time for me to start making that happen, I think. Because I would love to load up on, I'd like to get like 2 more hisses, and I'd want like 3 Vanguards anyway. Did you get any Dark Troopers yet? I have not, and I really should because I have the SHF Luke. And those Dark Troopers are, or at least were, super cheap. I haven't even looked at them in a while. See, LBZ, I don't have MAFEX Thor, but I do have the bear. So do you have a Thor? Do you have any kind of Norse god character that could throw down with that bear? Because I think that would be a pretty sweet shot. Dog was onto something there. Mr. Elliman, lines I collect, MO2 Origins. MO2, how about I just spelled MO2? Oh, guys, I am. It's over. It's game over. I still haven't recovered from eating dinner just before I got on this live stream. Anyway, lines I collect. MO2 Origins, all sublines. MAFEX Miscellaneous, comics, movies, Figuarts, DBZ, Mattel, WWE Ultimates and Elites and Superstars, mostly retro. Every now and then, third-party stuff. Those are all pretty awesome lines, I have to say. I wish I could load up on the MAFEX stuff. Let's see. DBZ, I need to know more about. And nobody seems able to answer this question. So I throw it out there every once in a while to see if somebody will come in. If somebody's brave enough to take this on and fire off an answer my way. I feel like I need a Goku, even though I don't know anything about Dragon Ball Z. But no one is able to tell me what the best Goku out there is. And I'm assuming it's going to come from Figuarts. But I need to know these things. I don't want to just spend money and find out that, oh, yeah, but that Goku kind of sucked. The Goku you really wanted was this one. So, yeah, if you have an idea on which Goku I need, game on, let me know. Now, as far as WWE and all that stuff, I was into wrestling. My cousin was into wrestling for 1 or 2 years. And he lived 5-6 hours away. And whenever I was down visiting them, which wasn't all that often, we had wrestling on. So I knew Macho Man, I knew Hulk Hogan, I knew Ultimate Warrior, and I knew Miss Elizabeth. And those were basically it. That's all I really knew about wrestling. So I just don't know enough to get into any of those lines. Do any of the lines, any of the WWE lines have ball peg waists? Because most of what I see ends up with waist cuts, and that makes me sad. Actually, it brings a tear to my eye. Now let's see here. What have we? See, love to get a 1/12 Arthur Morgan or Man with No Name figure. See, this is me being a bad nerd, I have a feeling, because I have no idea what any of that is. Although Man with No Name, was that a Clint Eastwood thing? Like if Mom's watching right now, she's sitting there pretending that she's going to throw something at her own TV and realizing if I throw this, I will break my TV, and that's a bad thing. All right, I'm going to get out of this real quick. Stop the share. Hide the button. There we go. Now you get to see me. Sorry. All right. See, very picky when it comes to Legends or Black Series. I'm looking forward to O-rings from Super 7 and independent makers. I'm curious what they're going to do with those O-rings. I mean, I saw the list of the first wave that they're going to do. I want to know how they're going to look. I want to know about pricing. I want to know how good they're going to be quality-wise. Basically, I want to see reviews. I don't think I'd get into them just because I feel like I graduated to 6-inch, or 1/12. We'll see. LBZ, I have my Thor Love and Thunder Marvel Legends figure, SHF Fat Thor, and the 1/12 Ragnarok. Dude, Fat Thor. Send Fat Thor after that bear, because we're all about the comedy here. I want to see that. That's the one that would be a blast. And I need to get a Fat Thor. Like, I don't like the movie stuff, but I feel like for how cool Endgame was and how great the experience was watching it in the theater surrounded by all these people, I feel like I need an Endgame Cap, an Endgame Thor, and an Endgame Iron Man, along with that SHF Thanos. But the Endgame stuff would probably end up being the MAFEX versions, because I'm that snob and they haven't made Thanos yet. Dog, the new legendary Super Saiyan Goku that was just released by Figuarts. Fantastic. Now, the legendary Super Saiyan one, was that the one with the ripped pants and the blonde, like the yellow hair? I'm trying to, because I know that I put up a few Gokus that I've checked out, and I thought they all looked cool, but I just want to know. And if that is the one, Anthony's Customs talked about him and said the hips were way too wide. But even so, the articulation would be insane on that guy. And one thing that I've been trying to find, I want like the ultimate black hair Goku, because that's the one that I think of as being kind of the more recognizable Goku. But I know I'm putting conditions on what you just said that I didn't put on previously. So no fault to you. That was just me thinking. But let me know if that was the one with the ripped pants that just came out, because I do think he looks cool and he is up for consideration. All right. What have we? Mr. Elliman, the new Figuarts Legendary Super Saiyan is amazing. Just came out, but is specific to the scene at the end of the Frieza saga, so he's stylized to be very bulky. And WWE figures are all waist cut. Oh, it's so sad. Waist cuts. I'm telling you, people, waist cuts on action figures these days is like selling automobiles without tires. It's just not right. It should be cost of doing business. Same with butterfly joints, double jointed elbows and knees. I'm clearly way picky when it comes to figures, at least a lot pickier than the manufacturers, or pickier than what their wallets will allow, perhaps. Okay, LBZ. Yeah, I want that SHF Legendary Super Saiyan Goku, the new one for sure. Okay, so it's got to be the one. Ooh, I feel like I'm disrespecting Chester. Sorry, Chester. Don't get dangerously cheesy on me now. There. We'll see if he actually stands there for a little bit. But yeah, that must be that one that we're talking about. The one with the yellow hair, ripped pants, all that good stuff. He does look good, I think. All right, Mr. Online. Every time I think He-Man, I think the rotten crotch. I'm glad none of us have rotten crotch. What is that? I don't know things. Oh, I never thought I would read on a live stream the term rotten crotch, but now that I have, I feel as though I need to know this story. All right, we're going to keep pushing buttons. We're going to keep going. Mr. Elliman. But yeah, Figuarts made the best Goku figs. Anyone would be good. New engineered body just came out, so you have about 2 options for articulation variations. Cool. So Goku's popular enough. I assume that they'd be soliciting another one sometime this year, possibly with the black hair and the new body. Maybe I'll hold off. Or maybe I'll still get the yellow hair ripped up one, just so I can have some kind of Goku representation out there. That'd be fun. And I know, there's some people going, anime, what? Yep, yellow hair and ripped pants, shirtless, that's the legendary. But a Saiyan raised on Earth is a good black-haired Goku. Okay, I'll check that too. Yeah, there's a lot of Goku variation, obviously. Like, I know with the characters that I really know what the best version of whatever figure is, whatever character is, but Goku? I feel like I missed a lot. And I saw some DBZ, but I didn't watch it every day, so I missed a lot of the story and really didn't know what it was about, which sadness, I suppose. Anyway, guys, looks like we're about set for this fine evening, so just wanted to say thank you for stopping by. I noticed that Displaying Model Behavior put up that he was doing one at 7 too, and I'm like, oh no, Dave, no! But nobody has to look out for me. I'm just a little guy. So I'm not worried about it. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for stopping by. As always, have fun out there. Make sure you're taking pictures, because I like seeing all the pictures that all of you post, even if I'm not online all that often. But until next time, have fun and happy snapping. And now I'm going to push end stream, and there will be that awkward moment where I don't know if the stream has ended or not. So I'll try some kind of wacky face. Click, click.